Hi everyone, I'm Bree Joseph.
And I'm Casey Rogan, and me and Bree own and operate a special effects company called KBZFX.
And today we're going to show you how to do a dark elf inspired makeup from the EverQuest franchise. Alright, first things first, we're going to pull her hair back. And since we intend on putting a wig on her, we're going to go ahead and put a stocking cap on top to pull it back. We're just going to tuck all of her hair into this cap. We're going to get her ears out of that. You can either cut that off or tie it up. For today, we're just going to literally tie it right up.
While Bree is focusing in on that, I'm going to go ahead and prime her face because it's going to keep the makeup on longer and not affect her skin. I'm going to bring this down to her neck a little bit because we are going to be putting a little bit of color.
Our dark elf has prosthetics. She's got ears and she's got horns. You can go to any local costume store and purchase those, or you can also go to kbzfx.com and we have them there as well. The ear slides over like this. Okay, now that we have them placed in there, we're going to go around her ear and apply the PROSAID, our adhesive, our special effects adhesive. If you don't have access to PROSAID, you can use spirit gum, which is also located at any costume store. Leaving out the hair, and I'm just going around the ear with my Q-tip. When you put it on, it's a milky white color. The best time to stick this is when it's started to turn clear. So if you want to use a blow dryer to speed up that process, you can do that as well on a low heat. Now we're going to go in and apply our horns. These are also made out of latex, and sometimes if they've been in a package or smashed, you might find your horns smashed down a little much. Feel free to take a little bit of cotton, not too much, and just stick a piece of cotton in there, and that'll help to keep your horns at attention. Oh. So again, once you've found your desired spot, go back in with your adhesive and apply it to the skin. We're going to go on to the wig cap just a little bit. Okay, now we're going to go in together. Alright, first we're going to go back in and powder this with a little translucent powder or baby powder and just get the shine off a little light so that it's not sticking to everything when we put the wig and the makeup on. So our dark elf is purple. Purple with some highlights in there, some darker purples. This particularly for you beginners at home, we're going to go ahead and use a grease paint.
You can also use a little bit of 99% alcohol or 91% alcohol to dilute your grease paint so it goes on nice and smooth.
You can use a brush, or you can also use a sponge, a craft sponge. Make sure you get her all covered up. Don't forget to go behind the ears, all the way down into her neck. Make sure you get all the way up into her eyes, crevices.
So we're going to go ahead and also paint the prosthetic the same color as her face.
Now Casey's going back in with the powder.
Before I apply it onto her face, I take the brush and I take all the excess powder out of it before I go ahead and place it onto her skin.
Now we're going to go in and add highlights and all the shading to contour her face a little. And we're going to start with the pre-mixed grease paint as well. If you do not find your desired purple, feel free to mix them up and match them. We have more of a darker purple that we're going to go into her eyes with. We want to try and stay away from the alcohol with this since we are going on her eyes. And we're going to put this on just like an eyeshadow. Stipple a little bit up to the brow line as well. Now if you use the stipple technique when you're done on the edges, again that stipple technique will give you the same type of blend that an airbrush would give you, that nice clean gradual change to the darker color. Take this down and just go on the sides of her nose.
And as you can see, we're taking our finger after we apply our paint and kind of dabbing it into the skin. That's going to decrease any lines that you see in the makeup. And I'm just going to go ahead and paint her lips purple.
So now we're going to go in and really showcase these going into her head. And stipple out a little bit to get that line and go half on the prosthetic, half off. And then again, we're going to go in and just pat off that excess. We're going to go in with the black now, and we're going to go intensify, just like eyeliner. And then come maybe moving that out a little bit. You're going to take your purple that you've shaded her with, and you're just stroking those lines right up. There we go. All right, now that we've got her this far, we're pretty much done. You probably want to apply these firsthand, but you know what? Looking at her right now, we feel like, God, she'd pop with lashes. So we're experts, we know what we're doing. We can go ahead and apply these right now, but I'd recommend maybe you do that before you applied her eye makeup.
So what I'm doing right now is I've just bought any store brand eyelashes, and I'm going to use my duo adhesive. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to measure the eyelash onto her eye. So I'm going to go ahead and measure it before I put any product on it. Like I thought, it's a little too big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down just a little bit. So you want to take the eyelash from the smallest portion of the eyelash to the beginning of the eye, and the larger one to the end. Swing it back and forth just to make sure that it gets a little bit
tacky.
And
if you see a little bit of the glue coming out, the white, don't be afraid. Leave it, let it dry. It'll dry clear.
What we're going to do now is accentuate those eyes a little bit more. You want to just go ahead and have your model look down. And that's also going to blend their natural lash with the extension lash.
Now, this dark elf is not complete without her hair. So now I've already started to add a little highlight in there just to show you how I'm going to actually color this. Now this wig started off a really pale blonde color, and with just a little hair color temporary spray, I'll turn this thing blue. So now we're going to start to style the hair first before we spray it with any more blue, until we get the desired look we're looking for. Over and inside that.
While we're styling the wig, feel free to grab a little hairspray. It's safe for the wig hair.
Keep playing with it until you find that desired look. So now we have our desired look. We do not want to paint our model purple on accident or blue. We're going to go ahead and place that whole thing around her.
Can you breathe?
And using your hand